Hello fellow DRX fans, today we're gonna be talking about Breeze. The map went under huge rework and I'm gonna tell you and explain what to expect and how to play on the new version of the map. Alright, let's start with A because the biggest changes are happening here. Typically, when you attack A, you had three ways of doing it. One, through cave. Second, through shop. Third, through holes. Now, only one is viable, and that is through shops. Why? Because you cannot go through cave anymore. It's barricaded and then there's a wall. So you cannot go and fight the players at pyramids with the long-range gun battles, which is not feeling good for the attackers, I'll tell you that. The other thing is, holes are completely blocked off as well. You cannot go through here, the TPs are not going through as well, you cannot Euro TP anymore into spawn, you cannot really use any kind of mobility here, so the only thing you can do through this area is to throw a flash or a molly into this direction. But there's no point, because no one is gonna hold you when you're standing here. Not a single defender will be standing in this spot, because why on earth would you be standing here? It makes no sense. So essentially that leaves you with only one way of attacking the A side, and that is through shop. Shop now has more space. It's not a corridor anymore, but instead it's like a semi-cave. But there's one problem that you will encounter as an attacker. Every single attacker that goes through here comes out of the same angle. This angle. That means that the defenders have now way easier time defending it. Let's take a look at the defenders now, because when the defenders are standing on pyramids, they don't have to worry anymore about the A caves, which means that you can openly stand in this area between the pyramids, not be exposed to doors, and because of that, you are just holding at one angle. That is huge. That is a huge change for the defenders, because you don't have to worry as much. You don't have to worry about the doors anymore, of people lurking through to your spawn, because the only way they can go and attack you is through this angle over here, right? And the doors. And we're gonna talk about the mid area in a moment, because first, I will show you something. There's one piece of utility that can stop an entire attack, and this is gonna be the meta game when it comes to defending the A side. So now, because of the added stack of boxes here, you're able to do a one-way like this. So when the defender is just holding it from any angle, you can stand here, you can stand here, you can stand here, you will be always seeing this one-way, right? Let's pay attention to how this one-way looks for the attackers, because that's more important than the defenders, of course, right? We're doing the one way. I'm the attacker now, and I have to go through this area. I don't see anything. This is the moment when I see this defender's area. Look where I'm at. This is absolutely incredible. How much space? Just look where the ping is. This is where the attacker would have to stand to see the defenders that are on pyramids. It's incredibly difficult to go through this, so you will need a lot of utility. You will need to use your own smokes as attackers to make sure that you smoke off this area over here to counter the one way. Brimstone, Omen, Astra, all of them can be a metagame choice and will be a metagame choice on Breeze nowadays, because it's so much easier to hold this. To make a comparison, think about it this way. This A main entrance now looks like B main Ascent, but there are no windows. On Ascent you have windows here, so you have to worry about utility thrown in, but here you don't have anything, so it's literally the same. One smoke holds you off, a one molly smokes you off, and you have to all trickle through the one exit. So this is way easier to defend. Now remember also that when you're defending the A side now, 5 seconds into the round, you can open the doors. And typically, that would have been a problem, because it opens the possibility of the attackers going through holes and attacking you with a split, right? Few players go through main, maybe one player goes from mid or two, and then one player goes late from holes. That is not a possibility anymore because it's blocked, which means that now this area, when you open the doors, becomes a premium defender angle that you can just literally hold everything from, because you have to be smoked off, you have hard cover, that cannot be penetrated typically because it's metal, right? So you're able to hold the doors, you're able to hold main as well, and you get very flexible when it comes to your position. You also can reposition on the stairs, you can be so mobile on this space, and because of that, that becomes one of the key aspects of the defense on A now, apart from the fact, of course, that you can defend from the pyramid onto A side. Now, what is very important, the doors on mid are also very changed. So let's talk about the mid. The mid now has a lot new angles. The left side of mid on the pillar is blocked with those walls, and you can jump up here and then go and battle the nest or bottom side of the top mid. Now the thing is, when you're standing here, pay attention. If you are Yoru, Sage, Jet, Neon, your hair will be visible. As a Cypher, your hat will be visible. I didn't check all the agents, but just pay attention. Typically, when you jump up over here, you want to press your crouch, so you don't like peek out too much before going and doing this. All right, so be aware. Now, the thing is, with this mid area, I feel like you're not really able to analyze, is this attacker or defender based, because it depends on the playstyle and the utility that the players will have. So this will be case by case. But because of the changes that you have on mid, again, it's easier to hold this from side because you don't have to worry about holes. So you can have 3 players holding mid and only 1 player holding A main, right? Which changes the dynamic of the entire Breeze, let's say, typical metagame layout. You can have 3 defenders on mid, you can have 1 player on A, and you can have player 1 on B. And the players that are playing from mid doors can also be flex into A main players, and the players holding B tunnel can also be a flex player towards B main. So then you have still additional players holding mid, and they're just very flexible, right? So this changes a lot for the players that are holding those areas. And now let's jump into the B side. There are some changes there. They're pretty big actually, so let's talk about it. First, the barriers didn't change, they're exactly the same way as before. And you can still have this battle from the long range window towards the side, which is nice. Something that we don't have on A anymore because cave no longer exists, right? So we only have this kind of long range duel that you possibly have on this map. Now the problem for the defenders here, I feel like this side now becomes the primary objective for the attackers because it should be easier to attack than the A side, which was reversed in the previous Breeze version, right? Also, the pipes were removed. Actually, maybe not. I think there was only 1 pipe. Never mind then. So, let's go back to this side. What changed here, the biggest thing that changed, is the fact that the wall is way shorter. You're not able to stand on top of it. The wall was before like exactly like this wall, right? So you're able to stand on top of it here, and it was very long till like this point, and you were able to defend it from behind cover, like with a small angled wall piece. So you were able to peek out and hide behind cover without too much danger to you. Right now, you're not able to do that because you're fully exposed, you don't have a lot of cover, and even when you jump down, your character's position doesn't really change that much. And this is fully shootable, so you can get damage through the wall. Also, very big change. If there's a molly landing in this area, it will push you out of the cover, because again, there's not much area that you will hide in. So either you have to peek out from this area, or you have to peek out from this area and expose yourself to players that are attacking this side of the site or are already on site. Very important to note. Now, when it comes to the site itself, if you guys remember, there were stairs over here. No longer. Right? Now we have the box and the wall, and you can jump over this to get access to the backside. Now the thing is, typically, when you in the previous Breeze iteration, if you were standing in this corner, you were most likely dead, because it was very hard to stop the attackers from like jumping around you. Right now, I feel like this area slightly benefits the defenders if you have utility to stop the potential push happening from this choke point here, right? If you throw a molly into this area and then you can jump on the box, you can single-handedly get multi-kills by pushing away players into your crosser for this angle. But at the same time, when you're standing on this box, you're an easy target yourself, so you have to pay attention. But fortunately, you have more space to maneuver, so you can be a mobile target. But again, you can get easily overrun if the opponents just ignore the molly and just pincer you from different angles at the same time, right? So this is gonna be a very interesting area of the B side and how players will come up with different characters, how to hold it. Maybe a chamber will be a possibility with a TP being hidden behind this box. There's really a lot of possibilities of holding the B side, but I think it is easier to attack nowadays than it was before. So hope you guys liked the guide, and we'll see you next time.